Hey, how's everybody doing this morning? Those of you that came out last night, I just want to thank you for doing that. Those of you who didn't, I'd love to see you next week. Make it a priority to come out to church Wednesday night, 7 o'clock at New River Assembly of God. We'd love to have you there. We had just a great night last night, another great night. We spent a lot of time just praising the Lord, worshiping Him, spending time in His presence after the service, and that was great. It was exciting. All of you that were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you who weren't, hey, you're missing out, so I'd love to see you next week. We talked last night about the difference between knowing about God and actually knowing God, and how we want to be people that know God, that actually have a relationship with Him, that when we talk about God, we're talking about Him as a friend, as someone we actually know, as someone who is our Father, instead of just knowing about Him and maybe having 100 different facts memorized about Him. And in the sermon, I showed a video clip of these people on the History Channel. They were doing a big documentary. There were all these historians that some of them, they spent lifetimes studying different things about the Bible, different things about archaeology and the history and all that kind of stuff. And they studied the Bible inside and out, but they never really knew God. They never really knew who He was. They knew tons about Him. They knew tons about His Word, but when it came to actually knowing Him and having a real relationship with Him, they were lacking. They didn't have it. And it was a tragedy to see that. But it's a perfect example of somebody that knows about God but doesn't know God. And the reason that they ended up there is because they chose the path of just memorizing facts, of just going through motions, of not actually seeking the face of God. See, there's two paths when it comes to God that we can go down. We can go down the path of knowing Him personally or trying to find out a bunch of things about Him. We want to be people that actually know Him personally. So let's do that this week. Just want to encourage you to come out if you weren't there. We got a great week ahead of us. My friend Eric Johnson will be preaching, so I'm excited for that. Come out and see him. It's going to be great. See you there next Wednesday.